Hello everyone. I would like to start this international webinar with a special quote that is success usually come to those who are too busy to be looking for it. So starting a new chapter, I Abhishek Kumar being your host for the event warm section, a very warm welcome and very good evening to all of you present here. And I hope you all are doing amazing. So, on the behalf of the whole SEMS family, I welcome you all for this international webinar on the topic Escalation Towards Your Goals. And to add our guest of honor and our speaker, Miss Koski Sondhi. And ma'am, and we are very much thankful for your presence. Let me introduce our speaker to you all, Miss Koski Sondhi. Talking about her education qualification is that she has done bachelor's in commerce and education in the field of economics and finance. She is also a professional educator and skilled in the university from the Hong Kong. She has done a lot of apart from that, she believes that we should make a innovative Indias to bring educator, professor, authors, students, and all other to get equal and access education opportunity along that empowering women and with the education's hubs. She is the student counselor and the professor of the soft skills at Mangalmay Institute of Engineering and Technology. Apart from that, she is also a mentor for the change in the Niti Aayog government of India. She is also a member of the advisory board at the National Council of News and Broadcasting. She is also a board member for the Voice of Mount Takrodi, Africa. She is also a president for the state Bhavishwe Education, Arts and Foundation in New Delhi. She is also an international chief advisor at the NGO Safeguarding Children's Committee UP and Koshambi Foundation. Apart from that, she is also a woman India Council for the Commerce of Industry State President Cybersecurity for the Sikkim. She is also a advisory member for the Bharat University Higher Education and Research. Along that, Bharat Institute of Science and Technology. She is also a education ambassador for India at the International Internship University. She is also a advisory women's cell committee member for the Sri Venkateswara College of Engineering and Technology, Aryavur, Pondicherry.
You, Abhishek. I'm so glad you invited me. So,
Okay, no
thank you,
worries.
SEMS Foundation, and everyone for joining today. And thank you, Abhishek, for that brief introduction. It was so sweet of you. I think I should start because almost all the audience have joined already. So, hello, everyone. My name is Koshki Sondi. Right now, I'm working as a professor in Mangalma Institute and also working with the upcoming my joining would be in the new college that is IIMT. So I'm a former principal. I have completed my education in management. I have huge experience working as a soft skill trainer, as a PDP trainer also. And my outlook is like nowadays, what changes our school require from the basic learning so we can enhance our futuristic goals in the career, because we are seeing that we are lacking in the soft skills as a part of education system, and that is what requires to be taken care of from a very early age of milestone learning. So that is my criteria of writing the book, which I just published this year. And this book is about how we can make a change very early changes we require from a very grooming sessions required from a early age to the point how we'll end up and launch ourselves in a career in a coming years. So this topic of today's what DG Saksham and SEMS Foundation is incorporating, and we are here to today to talk about is escalation towards your goal, subject XM. So this title itself is something new which we have encountered, and even this clicked to my mind anyhow when I was writing it. I don't know. I have changed it like many times, and and definitely I came to a point where I have given it a name called subject XM. Like we have 7 C's in communications, right? We have clarity, we have we should be concrete, it should be very constructive. Like that only, subject XM have three elements in all the five parts we are talking about today. So I will be presenting you a presentation in which you will get a brief about a book which I have published, and that will be very easy for you to understand what book is about, because we have seen the new education policy itself have bring so much of huge changes in the education system, but still we are struggling to incorporate these curriculum changes in our coming education system. And I think within 5 years it will be definitely not going to work again, because we need a huge change in the educators as well, because we are not groomed like that to groom the students itself. So first we need to change. So by beforehand, if we see, there are many byproducts which are actually needed to be worked upon before going ahead on the coding or artificial intelligence. So this book is about that. So I will be presenting you my screen. This book is about Escalation Towards Your Goal, which has been organized by DT Saksham. This is a webinar. This is a book title. This is a book page. And now coming to the topic, what it is about. So when we think about that, we are having so many subjects like science, maths, accounts in all coming education system. Even we are progressing in that. We are going to have engineering in the coming years, or we are going to be doctors in the coming year, taking science as a background, or science, social or maths as a background. So but any of these subjects are not going to help you to groom yourself in the coming years. You need to be very much groom yourself in mental health, into your progressive part of your mental development is very much required. Your emotional balance is very much required when it comes to stress. We are not groomed in that part. We are just giving ourselves intellectual knowledge. We are not giving ourselves sensory development, which is very much required. From the basic learning, we have seen that when a child is born, we are taking the parts of his sensory development. Doctor is taking the sensory part of the child. He is not taking the intellectual part of the child. But anyhow, as we grow up, the differences started, and we start to hand over the books and work on the hard skill part, and we just ignore the other parts, like or sensory development, or motor skills, or presentation skills, or communication skills, or cognitive thinking, or creative mindset, and we are not just giving them due importance as it is required in the coming years, I believe. So are any of the subjects which we are learning, they're going to help us apart from just giving us a monetary benefits? We can earn like a crores or lakhs sitting at one place, but we can't buy our mental peace by any of the subject we are going through. You don't know when you land into your 30s, are you going to maths, whatever formulas you have learned, they are going to support you to your mental health. Any of the science formula have you learned, they are going to support you in your coming health? I don't believe that. Depression, the chronic attacks, the episodic attacks, the acute stress we are facing today in this world, the students itself are facing. I'm not talking about the elders right now. I'm just talking about the people who are at a very early age of their milestones. We are seeing that even they are not able to get out of depression. They are having tensions. My son, like 8 year son, is saying that I have tension. These kind of education system are giving to us. Are we are going to have a great future with that kind of mindset? I don't believe that. So this book is focusing on that criteria and that center point of focusing points where we need to work upon on the education system. I'm not saying we should not do the coding and the artificial intelligence or labs, or all XYZ factors which we are required nowadays in those students. And we are seeing that many digitalized classrooms are providing. Many schools are saying we have smart boards, we have this criteria, we have this and this curriculum. IB schools are coming. But what about the part which require to be maintained from a very basic learning? We are not giving due importance to that. So we all are having a success plans. And to success, we mean only the monetary benefits and only the money and the the financial part we are securing of a child. We are just telling them how to earn money. We are not telling them how to live the life, and that is the purpose of life. We are living to enjoy the life, to have a joyful life, but we don't know how to have that. We are just running about for a particular kind of a job, for particular kind of a post, for particular kind of a monetary benefits, for the car, for the home, and all these kind of things, but we don't know how to maintain the relationships. So we all have a success plan, but we don't have a failure plan. Failure plans means when you are into 30s, you are having a good position, you are having a good monetary benefits, you are having a children around, but you are not mentally at a peace. You don't hold a mental peace. Emotional balance is not there. Socio emotional well being is very much required. So, here we are talking about the socio emotional well being education, which is required to be cultivated among the students from very basic learning. And when I say the socio emotional well being, I'm telling you the students, and I'm expressing myself in a terms of being not result oriented, not being the what we want to become, but being process oriented, enjoying the small moments around, handling about the sharing parts from the relatives or the relationships we are holding. We actually don't know how to handle our emotions, and then we burst out, and then we go into stress or depression kind of a thing. So depression management is very much required. The education on this part is required from a very basic learning. So our education verified with the logical grounds of edification established on the factual research. That change we require. So I'm talking about these elements in our book. The coming elements are the three elements of XMR. A stands for awareness, advocacy, and acceptance. When we say awareness, awareness about how to live, advocacy about what we have, we are sufficient with that. We are not lacking in anything. We are not having the inferiority complex. Acceptance means we are happy with the things which are bound to us, the relationships, the relatives, the education, the exposures. All these things are very much in our margins, in our limits. Then we talk about the C factor, that is communication, creative, and compliance. When we say communication, creative, and compliance, we are talking about the soft skill here. Soft skill education is very much required from a very basic learning, which is not being given due importance. Or education system is only limited to the hard skill, and that's why new education policy have been come into frame, because they want to focus on the many parts of soft skill. That's why they are saying, go for the public speaking, go for the debates, go for the extra activities, go for the motor skills. We are talking about the soft skills here, because we are not grooming our children for these kind of things. We are just making them hard skill oriented. Then come the T factor, that is teachers, trainees, and tribes. It means family engagement. Family engagement means when the school, from a very basic learning, the teacher should also engage with the students of how they are holding their backgrounds, from which backgrounds they are coming, what financial or mental problems they are facing at home, and they are encountering the classroom again. So the children should be very much open with the class teachers, so they can be expressible to tell what kind of framings they are facing at home, and that's why they are not performing good at their classes, and the teacher can figure it out. We can just not say that why you are not performing as per the other child, because maybe that child is having external environments as per the favorable condition, but the child you are facing problem with, they are not having a favorable conditions. That's why they are not performing good. So that is again the criterion, again the performing task of a teacher, the tribes, the performers who are in the classroom. So again it comes to the family engagement part, so we will talking about this element also. Then come the S, that is STEM, social and spiritual education. We are grooming our children with the knowledge of history, with the science, with the STEM education, but we are not providing them the social skills. We are not providing them the moral values. We're not providing them the ethical values, how to be kind, how to show the gesture, that is to be, you are there for someone. We are making them robots. We are not making them humans anymore. So they are lacking the emotional part. So we need to groom that part also. We need to make them social responsible in a kind where they need to understand they have responsibility towards the society as well. They can't be just consumable. We are consuming the things from the society. We are not providing anything to the society nowadays. We are not providing any charities. So they should know the charity part, to be donate from their earnings. That will help them to be on a grounded level. They, that will make them kind person, to be more approachable, to be more like a human. We are not creating any humans in the schools now. We are just creating the robots in the school. So we don't want that factory anymore, because what is happening, they are lacking the emotions, and that's why depression rates are high. That's why the stress levels are high, because we are performing good, we are having incomes, but we still are lacking the emotional balance. And human is a social animal. We all know that. We can't just figure out that we are happy because we have materialistic things around. We can't be definitely on that. I have seen people with the earnings, they are into depressions. So we need to figure out what we are lacking. We are lacking the kind gesture, the social gestures, the people gesture, being socially around with the people. We need that. Then come the M factor. M factor is again what we are grooming the students in the schools, that is manufacturing marginal and mature stage of careers. That is when you learn into your career part, taking all these acts into your learning, understanding part of your grooming, and then you are landing into your education, into your career, into your employability skills. Then how you will implant these learnings into your employability workplace, how will you employ them? So these elements would be talked about going ahead. So when I say these elements, I'm talking about the new proteins for our education system. We are talking about the new education policies, proteins. Yes, we are being provided with the new education policy, but we don't know how to use them as a protein in our education. So we need to understand that personal and professional education is very much required. Hard skills and soft skill education is very much required. Social and spiritual awakening education is very much required. That is moving from the learning to understanding part. And when we say from the learning to understanding part, it means not making them anymore, just a copy cat kind of a person, just, writing down what is being said, and not memorizing, not understanding what is the sar of learning or reading. That we don't know what we are teaching our students today. In the books of fifth or sixth student, I'm seeing that they are teaching them the vegetation propagation or the reproduction cell of a stems, these your vegetations or stem or roots. But what about the roots learning of the being human? We are not teaching them the moral values anymore. So these are the proteins which we need to implant in our students, in our children, from a very basic learning. Now coming to the course of action to live, like how we should teach our students or children to live, to show cause their path, to show cause their learnings, to show cause their actual personality to the world. So living is very easy, quitting is difficult. We are seeing that people, they quit very fast. They're like, I can't do that, I'm not good for that, it is not my cup of tea, or maybe I'm not made for the same thing, or I don't have the resources. The best part is to say, or to ignore, or to detach something, is that I don't have the resources as per the person next to me. He can go to US, I can't go, so I'm not doing that. This is not the answer. Being sitting at home also, you can do something. That power, that encouragement, that motivation should be there. So living is very easy if you try it. Quitting is difficult because you have to find the reasons to say no, but you need only one reason to say yes. So that is very much required. Then to get anxious in certain situations is normal. Everyone does, and most people even experience increased anxiety at the workplace, at the competitive world. We are seeing that people are facing the workplace problems. They are facing the stress at the workplace because of the competitive world. People are throwing the grudges, or maybe people are being competitive, and you are having a stress from a very basic learning. You are not trained for that, and you don't know how to behave in that situation, because in the school you are not groomed with that thing. You are just groomed with the ABCD, or maybe with the science and history, math formula. You don't know how to deal with the people if they are playing with your mindsets, if they're disturbing your peace of mind. You don't know how to treat them. You are not taught the skills to avoid that stress. That is called stress management learning. So stress management learning education should also be provided from a very basic learnings in the schools. Now the question comes, yes, how? Definitely I agree with you, these kind of education like depression management, like stress management need to be provided from a very basic learning. But how can we start that? you know we can go for the case studies, we can show them the case studies and help them. Why in the coming, when we are in MBA or into engineering, into chartered accountancy, then we are going through the case studies. Even in the job we are going through the case studies. But when we are into a raw learning in the schools, we are not providing them the case studies to learn. We need to encounter the students with the raw examples, then only they can know what actually the practical world is. Then they can have a smooth landing, otherwise they will fall any part apart. So civilization is a method of living. We need to teach them to be civilized by having a raw learning, consuming good only from the cases, from the raw data or experienced people. They are having the shortlisted points, bullet points, which need to be implant or have pursue for a positive attitude and perspective. Happiness is a state of mind. We need to teach our students, for our children, that happiness is a state of mind. We need not to worry about anything. It's only a part of play. Temporary feelings that will fall apart, and temporary things don't remember for a longer period. So we need to tell them that being positive is your cup of tea. You need to implant it. No one is coming to tell you that. Understanding human intelligence and human reasoning, different parts of brain activities. And we need to tell the students that our brain is kind of a gadget where we can implant the positive aspects and ignore the negative aspects. This is a conscious engineering, inner engineering, which we need to make them very much interested in. Nowadays we are saying we are having a courses for inner engineering. What is that? In inner engineering means filtering yourself from the thought process of not I can't do, no I'm not okay, no I don't look good. All these kind of negative thoughts and attitudes, they need to be removed, and you need to be frame in a very particular kind of a body management process, where you can have a progress in a life. You can be positive. Going ahead, the first thing that is awareness, what we seen in the three elements also, that is remorse management awareness. We are talking here about the remorse management, which we need to make student understand in a school's level also. Remorse means regret, sorry for something which we have done in past and we are not happy now. We hold a guilt. We hold a guilt when we are in 30s and we have completed our education. We are having a great 9 to 5 job. Now we are having 50,000 monthly income, and we are sitting at a particular job, but we are not happy. We are holding some grudges, maybe personal or professional, or maybe mental also, or maybe due to some chronic things, physical problem to any of our personal person at our relative at our home also. Now we are facing a stress at our home, or in our mind, sitting at that job, earning a 50,000 monthly, but we are not mentally happy. Now what will you do? So that kind of regret, that, oh, why don't I have chosen the job of US? Oh, why don't I have married that girl? Oh, why didn't I have chosen that stream for the education? Oh, why I have not chosen that job? These kind of opportunity cost, I call them opportunity cost. If you are an accountant, or you are into an education of economics, or maybe accounts or CA, you will be very much understanding the opportunity cost term. Opportunity cost means something you have to leave to attain something. You can't be present everywhere. So what you are leaving behind, you can't just compare that with what you have chosen. So chosen things are your options, are your now life changing, dramatical changing things, which have made you something or maybe not made you something. Now you can't just keep on comparing your frame of options you have chosen. So that remorse management should be also provided to the students, that if you have chosen anything over something, you can't just keep on regretting if that is not giving you benefit in a coming year, because at that particular time that particular option was very much great to you. You were happy with that option. So that remorse management education should also be a booster dose to the students that will provide them proteins in the coming future when they are into their 30s or 40 mature age. But that understanding and that learning and that brainwash understanding should be provided from a very milestone learning, that is from the school level. So these changes are required. Now at once you can encourage the education system to have that verified kind of education and have a knowledge to be boosted upon, but we need to understand that these personal promotions are required. We can't just sit around. Going ahead, I will, in this book also, this Escalation Towards Your Goals, subject XM, I have talked about one story of an eagle here. If you are aware about it, I think most of you are already, that eagle at the age of 40, it change, it remodule itself, it have a rebirth. It the eagle have two options, whether to just forget about a change and just finish the life and end up, or otherwise change, remodule whatever you have. You, whatever you have chosen to stay apart from 40 years, you want to live more 70 years, like till 70 years, so you need to remodule yourself. So that is a remorse learning, that is remorse management. At the age of 40, the eagle have to change itself, have to change the wings, change the talons, they have to change the feathers, have to cut, knock its beak, and just become a new, wait for a part like 5 months or 6 month period to have a rebirth again, to be in a particular frame of personality to fly again, and then it lived for many, like 30 years back. So need to understand that if a particular animal is made to remodule themselves, then why, being a human, we are not teach to remodule ourselves? If we have any problem in a coming future, why we just for just surrender ourselves to that particular problem? We need to be a fighter, and that is what we need to teach our student from a very basic learning, with a story of eagle, that is remorse and module learning. Coming back to the chronic management education, when we say chronic management education, like students need to be educated not of being guilty of something. They should motivate themselves if they are happy, there is some happening in their life, there is some episodic acute stress in their life, that is, I want to become, I will face that challenge and I will go through that anyhow, that will not create any problem to me, and I will definitely prove myself. That proving strategy should be there. They can't just sit around with a chronic stress, that okay, I am having the problem, now I'm not going to do anything because I don't have resources, I'm lacking everything, and I'm powerless. You need to be superhero. We need to teach our student that how to manage your chronic stress, well, from a very basic learning, and that comes with the stress management strategies. So now coming to the stress is a very particular kind of a thing which is very much common nowadays at a workplace, even at education, with the students in the colleges, in the institutes. We are seeing people are saying, oh my god, I'm facing a stress is a little brother of depression. I call it a little brother of depression, because first you come into a stage of stress, then anyhow you change that into a regular base, and that become your habit. What we are telling our mind, that it's okay to be into stress, we can be in stress, and that is okay. I'm saying that is okay, but what kind of stress? Use stress or de-stress? There are two kind of stress, that is use stress and de-stress. When you say use stress is a positive stress, like I have to prove myself, tomorrow is my presentation, I have to go and I have to give a 100% great performance, and I have to prove myself. That is your motivational stress. I believe that should be there, that pulls you to be motivated and to be positive person and positive perspective in our coming future. But de-stress means being very negative. Oh, I can't do. Oh my god, what a pressures. Oh my god, like what we face before interview, what we face when we are facing a screen, what the actor and the actress are facing when they are facing the screenplay or some acting. So that is de-stress. How will we perform? The pressure of performance is very much there. So we need to understand that the pressure should not be there, and we should be very much comfortable in our own zone, whatever it is, 10% skill, 100% skill, we should be comfortable. So now stress can be acute, stress can be episodic, stress can be chronic. When we say acute is like, oh my God, I'm late for the work. This is an acute stress. Oh my God, my the network is not there, my connection is not getting linked, I'm not able to open the PPT. Now I'm into an acute stress or episodic stress. I'm into an acute stress. This is for a temporary period. But now, if these kind of stress attacks become regular, then I will be into an episodic stress. And then I will be very much into that phenomena to be into a chronic or depression in the coming years. Now we need to tell our students, educate our students from a very basic learning that we need not to react and proactive when it comes to acute stress situations. I forgot my copy. I'm not prepared for my test. I didn't bring my uniform. I'm not able to complete my work. These kind of stress give very much proactive reactions to our mind, and that then we react in some basic particular phenomena that can be in a scale of 10, that can be into a scale of 100, and then we judge the person when they are into 30s, that now you are having some mental issues. No, you are not having any mental issues. You were not treated right when you were into your basic learning. Otherwise, that scale of 100 which you are presenting right now in your 30s could be of 10%, and then it will be easy, chota mota gussa hai, that's okay. So these should be understand from a very basic learning. We need to educate our students, educate our children from a learnings. Then come the depression management education. It means family engagement. As I told you, we need to understand the basic background of a child before educating them. Before handling them the books, we need to understand from where they are coming. What are their roots? We are telling them the roots and stems and leave education in the science. We are not getting to know what the roots of students from a very basic learning, where they are coming from. Then we need to educate them, so we need to understand them. Then I have mentioned a new phenomenon in this book, that is cuddle hormone therapy. I call it oxytocin. You have must be heard about this term also, oxytocin. Oxytocin means a hormone. This is a hormone which is generated in a mother when they gave birth to a child. Whenever a mother gave birth to a child, anyhow she have a love for the child. I don't believe if a child is born and immediately you have a love with the child. How will it happen? I think it take times, right? Or you just, if a child is born and a mother love the child, how can it be possible? So the hormone responsible to make mother love the child is oxytocin. So this is a cuddle hormone actually. When the child come near to the mother, and that kind of a chemistry is framed and the vibes are shared, then oxytocin hormone is in the mother, it flows, and anyhow you have a love for the child. So we need to generate the oxytocin hormone by having a cuddling, by having a love from the parents or the relatives at home, by having a touch therapy. By having a touch therapy, we can have that from the loved ones. We should not reject them or keep a distance, because in depression, what we do, we take distance from our parents, we take distance from the friends. We need teach our students that cuddling hormone is very much required whenever we are into any problem. We need to go to our loved ones. Then come the avoid overthinking part. We need to teach our students from a very basic learning again that overthinking should not be a part of your learning or your part of your understanding. Don't think something very much. Don't be very much important for yourself. Be relaxed. You are not so important to the world. You are just a pop-up. You're just a pop-up to this world. This universe don't know you. So don't take yourself seriously. This phenomena should be taught to the students from the learning. Why you are taking yourself so much? If you don't land up to some particular kind of job, no one is judging you. Don't be into a social pressure. Oh my God, that friend land up to US and I am staying in India with only this 40,000 job. It's okay. Maybe you are seeing that part of the person life, that is he's financially very happy, but maybe in his personal life he's not happy. So you don't know all the four factors and all the four sections of a person's life. You can't judge from one frame. So be relaxed. Don't take yourself seriously. And U-turn management is very much important, which I talked about in this book. U-turn management means if you even land up into depression or some sad zone of your life, we need to teach the students that how to take a U-turn. And I will be talking about a formula that is called depression management formula, which has been created by me, which is a basic understanding of if you land up into any particular mind problem or stress or maybe depression or any clinical term you give it, then how you can take a U-turn. You don't need any medical help, you just need counseling, and that counseling should be very much particular, that should knock to your that part of understanding that what you are doing, oh my god, what I'm doing with myself, only that understanding should be there. That is called diffusing your energy, because what happened, we are humans, we are full of energy. We are, if we are not consuming that energy in a positive way, then we are using it against ourselves. We against ourselves, we diffuse it, we blast inside, and that blast inside may be a stress, maybe a depression, maybe chronic stress, maybe acute stress, maybe anything, any clinical term you provided. Now, going to depression management formula, as I told you, this has been created by me in this book, which will be explained in a very larger scale if you just read the book. So the formula is trigger situation. Of course, we have any trigger situation. Maybe we fail in the exam, maybe we are having not personal relationships good, or maybe we are having any failure, XYZ factors, and the environmental factors that are supporting means any friend who is taunting you, oh, you didn't clear that, oh my god, but that Ram and Sham and X and Y have done that. What about you? Why can't you crack it? Oh my god, you didn't do that. The relative factor, maybe your workplace persons, taunting you, maybe your inner self, you know, questioning you, you're distancing yourself from yourself and questioning yourself, I'm not good with that, it is my responsibility to do that, but I didn't do that, so I'm not good enough. So that judging factors are here. Environmental factors mean judging factors. They totally together, not only the trigger situation never makes you to become depressive. Understand that. The environmental and the judgmental factors make you depression. So these factors together make you a depression framework. You give it a house where you are sad. Now it is upon you that how longer you keep it. You are sad for one day, you are sad for 1 minute, you are sad for 1 hour, or you are sad for the years. So that is up to you. You want to sit in that particular frame of depression and sadness and enjoy that sadness, or you need to stand up and take a mug of digestion of that sip of depression, and now I'm going to go ahead. So these again with the negative characteristics. Negative characteristics means not going out, sitting alone, sleeping a lot, eating a lot, not talking to friends, not being socially involved in anywhere, not doing any positive exercise or positive meditation, and sitting at home and not consuming your mind for a particular kind of thing, and then you go into depression. So these are happening nowadays. People are getting very much into a nuclear families. First they were into a joint family. So people, they are sad. They are like, "Kyo sad hai? What happened to you? I'm there to you. Talk to me." There are so many siblings around of same age, so they talk. But now they are nuclear families. One child, one parent, two parents. They are together and they are to the work, and the child is alone. So they get into depression. So that's why family engagement is required to root the circle. So this is a formula for the depression management. Now coming to the S factor, that is a skill factor, soft skills. Yes, we talk about the soft skills. Soft skills at workplace are very much required. There are two types, as we talked about, the hard skills and the soft skills. And we need to have both frames, technical and the learning skills, to have a place at a workplace. As we can see in the diagram also, there are people skills and technical skills. Going ahead, workplace are the skills and the traits which are required along with the qualification and the learning to have a aptitude and attitudes for a particular job frame, as we can see in the diagram as well. Now, what is communication? Communication means two-way communication. I'm talking to you, you are listening. That is a communication. You are giving your reaction. Maybe you are not liking my speech. Maybe you are liking it. Maybe you are not understanding. Maybe you are not understanding it. So communication comes with a feedback. Communication means I'm a sender, you are a receiver, you are receiving, and the message should be full of feedback. What we are teaching our student in the school itself, we are taking their exams and we are judging them. Okay, you get the A grade, okay, you get the B grade, okay, you are second, you are third. So we need to understand that these feedbacks are provided to the students, but anyhow students are facing problems of maybe they are not physically very active, they are mentally not there, maybe they are having any pressure from the home. That's why to just finish this part of physical noise and psychological and semantic noise problem, we need to enroll the family engagement program, which I talked about earlier also, so we can have a great roots of our students. So communication should be of verbal, non-verbal, formal and informal. That is a huge topic. Again, this is talked about in a larger scale in a book, so I will not go very much deep into it, but I am talking here about a paralinguistic gestures. These things also need to be taught to the students from a basic learning before landing them into a workplace skills. We can just not throw them after 20. Now you go to work and behave in a very gentleman performance. You have to show yourself with a suit boot and you have to sit on the job of 9 to 5 with a particular gestures. How can they do that if they are not being taught at the school itself? The teacher have not taught them how to articulate, how to speak, how to enunciate, to how to pronounce, how to have a tone, how to express themselves, how to have a gesture, how to keep your hand, how to talk, how to have a space language education. All these education need to be provided from a school so they can be very much groomed into a particular gentleman dress. So we need some filter clutch also, which need to be there to make a person understand, to decode the other person behavior, so they can again manage the stress. If they are having any politics in the workplace, they can know how to handle that in a very positive manner. They don't get into a depression. And having a creative mindset is very much required, where they need to be very much into active listening. Nowadays we are providing, I've seen in the schools they have started the active listening session, where they are giving them a headphones and they are asking them to have a TED talk listening, and then they're asking them, now you fill up the gaps with the language or maybe with the the argumentative essay. Now fill up these gaps. So they are providing them the active listening sessions also. And now we are seeing that people are open minded. When you are open minded, you are not blocked with some kind of already framed prior judgments. Now then you are very much good to have a great mindset of understanding the person. Compliance skills, again, it comes with the quality management, the risk management. And now come the three-dimensional development. The three-dimensional development means that we need to make the students very much moral, ethically, and socially responsible, along with STEM education, not just providing them the engineering background or the science background or the mathematics background, and just providing them the hard skills oriented education, but also providing them the social innovator, adopt charity part. Now, nowadays, what we are seeing, the colleges or the institutes, they are adopting any NGOs and they are helping the students of that NGO by providing the students of the school or the charity or the college to go and teach them. These things are having, these collaborations are having, and they are very much required. That is called social innovators. So we need social innovator in our education system as well. So make them responsible for the society as well, not being just consumable. Coming to the spiritual education and the moral value, teaching them in a Gurukul way, providing them to be very much responsible for the nature as well, giving back to the nature as well. Now, landing to the last part of this book, where we are talking about the three stages. The stages are manufacturing stage, marginal stage, and the mature stage. When we say the manufacturing stage, we are talking about the launch stage. When now we are educated in from the schools and we are land into a career, into a job at a workplace. Now we are into a first stage. This is our first job. I'm into my seat in a first job, and now what to behave with the learnings I have encountered. So I should be very much agreeable to all. I should not fight. When this is my first job, suppose I'm sitting at my job, I should agree with all. I should behave in a very calm manner. I should appreciate all. I should not show cause my soft skills or talent at a first stage. This is called launch stage. You are at your first job. Maybe you are launching yourself. You need to be very much underdog person. Work on your personality development. Then after some times, maybe after 1 year or 2 years into your job, now you are into your marginal stage. Now you need to be little bit of open adjust yourself with the attributes of others, show your little talents, just be positive with the attitude, be socially responsible, and yes, work on your networking. That is very much required. Work on your networking, being socially open. Mature stage means now you're very much adjust. You are here for like 5 years in your job. Now you need to prepare for the change. You need to invest in your profile, upskill yourself, regular courses or regular learnings in the coming education system, and also having a networking high. Nowadays, it's very much required to be personal branding and natural, networking building. We have seen that in the marginal stage, we are working on the personal branding also. Personal branding means making yourself a brand, not working for the organization for the 5 years and the organization throw you out. Then you don't hold any worth. You should work for the 5 years for the organization and for yourself also. You should have your personal branding, that what you have done, it should be up to you. It should be hold on you. So that is your personal branding. And then coming to the networking part, we need to have a networking also, and then networking should be very much high. So if you change the job, you should have a lot of networks to work upon and to support you. So that will work again with that. Before going ahead with the coding or artificial intelligence, we need to work on the spiritual and the grounding root of the students as well. So that was to me. Over to the SEMS.
Thank you, ma'am, for this wonderful session, and I hope our participants learn many new things from this session. Ma'am, there are some few questions which our participant want to know. So, shall we start?
Definitely, definitely, definitely.
Okay, ma'am. And the first question which our participant want to know that uh, if someone want to achieve the success, then how can he do it?
Okay. See, first of all, it's the question of what success is to you. Is it financial? It is personal. It is professional. It is your, to be successful in your family life, to be successful into relationship, to be successful to be have a lot of money as compared to my neighbor. So success have different margins, scales, and we can't just scale bar and have a benchmark of what success is. Success have different definitions for different people. And when I say success, success means your inner peace. Again, we are talking about the social emotional well-being. If you are happy going to sleep at night with a 9 to 5 job also, you are successful. If you are happy with doing a job of 1 hour, you are successful. But if you are not happy having a money in lakhs, in crores, then you are not having a sleep at night in a bed, then you are not successful. Success don't come with financial success. Success come with the inner peace. I told you, when you are into your 30s, you are going to figure out, like, I have money, I have job, I have perfect partner, but still I'm not happy. I'm searching something. The purpose should be there. If your purpose is clear, you are successful. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. The next question, which our participant want to know, that in the context of the setting of the goal, how do you differentiate between healthy escalation and some sudden harmful effect? Yeah.
Okay. See, goal setting is a very tough task. Even when we were in the schools, we set the goal and the plans every day. We have a plan chart in our study room, and then we don't follow that. So goal setting is very much tough. That's why I said escalation towards your goal. Every day you need to get up, you need to charge yourself, and you need to go in that path of working towards that goal. So escalation means exercise, exercising towards your goal, exercising towards your plan, or maybe exercising towards no plan. There are two options. In my life, I don't hold any plan. Anytime I never had any plan. And I don't know anyhow. I work to the education part. I work to the public speaking. I work as a homemaker. I even work as a librarian, as a volunteer part. So you need to understand what part you are playing. If you are having a goal setting, then exercise that goal setting on a everyday part. If you don't hold any goal setting, then have a healthy mindset of whatever will happen, I will crack it. Positive attitude is very much required. Without positive attitude, you are not going to do anything. With positive attitude, even that 1% will make it to the 10% chart. But with a negative attitude, you are going to do nothing good. So I've seen people, you have seen your friends also with a positive attitude. They don't hold money, but they anyhow go to the good college and they are doing so good in their life. At certain point, they were not provided with that facilities or resources. So how that happened? Only the positive mindset could hold you back to the positive outcomes. So having a healthy mindset could provide you healthy goals. That is my answer to that question.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, the next question is that can you advise for an individual who are hesitate to escalate their effort due to the fear of stepping out of their comfort zone?
Yes. See, in the management, we have one study called SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis means working on the strengths and avoiding the weakest part of your working. So means see the opportunities you have, or if you don't have opportunity, create the opportunity. If you fear landing in particular kind of environment and you don't want to land to the comfortable, don't want to come out of your comfortable zone, then find the opportunities in that comfortable zone and slighter by slighter, little by little, try to come to the margins and then explore that margins, and little by little you just go out. Even me, I don't jump out suddenly to some job. Little by little, I leave my hometown, then land into some different city, then I explore that. I find it okay if I can, okay if I can't, and I have that if and buts with me. So play with that if and buts. If you're good to play with the if and buts in your mind, you don't need to worry about it, that how will I come out of my comfort zone. See, anyhow, you have to little by little come out of your comfort zone if you want to touch that, that craving for the success, whatever you call the success, is the job or financial or whatever. But if you want to have that taste of success, you need to little by little come out of your comfort zone. And anyhow, then you will understand that it was so easy. I was having only the fear part. So try to explore yourself within the boundaries and then outside the boundaries. Then you will be very much comfortable. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, the last question which our one of audience want to know that can you suggest the role does the self belief and confidence play in the processing of escalation towards your goal? Yeah.
See, yes, yes, confidence. I would say, see, their confidence doesn't mean being overconfident. I will do it, and you are not studying anything, or I know how to do that, and you don't hold any talent. You need to have skills. See, confidence come when you work day by day in that particular path. Skills should be enhanced day by day to be confident. Just sitting on one seat or one part of your place and just saying, I'm confident I will do it, I'm confident I will do it, it will not help you. Being confident is good, but with confidence, you need to enhance your skills. Maybe you are not able to do on a margin of 10, do it on a margin of 5. You are not good as per compared to the others. Maybe they are doing well, you are not as per their margins or bar, but still you can you can play with that goals settings. So you need to crack that confident with your skilling part. That's why I call it upskilling. We don't call it skilling, because skilling means you are already skilled. You are having confidence because you lack that skill. Confidence only play when you don't know anything. Confidence doesn't have any role if you know everything. If you know everything, what will the confidence do? But if you don't know anything, you hold confidence. Now it's up to you if you make that overconfident by without upskilling yourself, or you maintain that confidence dignity by being reskilling yourself on a regular margins. So reskilling come with the margins to escalate yourself for the goal setting or anything you need in your particular kind of life. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. And I think that our participant get their questions answers. And ma'am, again, I just like to say that thank you for you all attending this webinar. If you have any questions, then please feel free to contact us by email or telephone. We are happy to give you the support, and please follow on our social media and subscribe our YouTube channel for new learning and development.
Thank you, Abhishek. Thank you, SEM Foundation, and thank you, DG Section and audience for joining today.